Okay, here we are at the month of April, coming up on the month of April. We are doing the intuitive patterns for the month of April 2022. In the Osho Zen Tarot, we have letting go, exhaustion, and sharing. In the medicine cards, we have crow and ant. In the Mayan oracle, we have dreamer and dreamed, language of light, and hologram. In the ancient Egyptian tarot, we have the Four of Swords, the Empress, and the Princess of Discs. The priestess, in the Aleister Crowley Tarot, we have the priestess, wealth, and cruelty. And in the Healing Earth Tarot, we have the Four of Shields, the Five of Wands, and Judgment. And in the Words of Truth, we have intention, powerless, and listening. So, the card that jumps out at me this month is the exhaustion cards from the Osho Zen Tarot. It is an image of machines breaking, a warrior wretchedly exhausted, and darkness and destruction all around. Sounds like the country of Ukraine. Such moments make us reflect on how tenuous peace can be and how treaties and agreements mean nothing to those that are controlled by evil and are manipulated by their own lust for power. How does chaos destroy the natural order and routine of the lives of the innocent? In such moments, we are asked to help because without support from others, countries come tumbling down. What we see now at this time in history is that a major understanding is dawning. We are all so interconnected that we cannot afford to cut off the world in favor of our desires to dominate others. We are so interconnected that if we fail, if we piss others off to the point that others unify and defy overt aggression, then one particular person wants to impose, that power person is doomed. This card is the reminder that our dogmatic biases and beliefs are what cause us to harden around certain principles and ideas to such a point that then we must somehow defend atrocities that any normally grounded person would never attempt and directly oppose. Biases are an armor that attempt to protect oneself from the truths that are arising. We are being asked to be more flexible in this constantly shifting reality. Notice if your mind is in a constant state of defense. Notice if your answers are ready-made and from others without you needing to think about them. Instant answers are a sure sign of prejudice, and defensive words and actions show a person who uses the information of others to hide their lack of education, lack of self-worth, and lack of understanding. When minds are hardened into blocks of biases, that person becomes hard-headed, dull, stupid, and mechanical. He or she becomes a repetitive machine with no originality and no ability to be flexible, listen, or to be willing to gain insight and information based on comparing, assessing, and integrating. When one is being authentic, then a question does not elicit an immediate reaction, but one stops and feels into the right response. And that response will always include heart and compassion. This month, what becomes obvious is that fighting arises from those that are preoccupied with comparing and those desiring to be better than another. Innocent people do not fight. They want to be left alone and live their lives in peace. But someone interested in proving that they are better than another will constantly pick a fight in order to win and break others down. One has to lose the I of self-importance in order to reclaim the innocence of the true self. The Four of Swords indicates that there will be some sort of truce that involves this month, but the struggles will not be over, not by a long shot. The dispute will not be over, and there will be a long road to justice. Many things will get very unpleasant if difficult truths are ignored. Then things will become again heated and dangerous. We have to hold the dream of this world in a sacred place of illumined truth. There's so much happening in dimensions and places that we may not be completely aware of, but they are operating in the language of light behind the scenes. Spirits are attempting to show us how to be in this world without so much aggression and conflict. The crow reminds us that what we are seeing is our disowned shadow. That shadow has awoken, and it is now moving through the reality in ways that are causing much conflict and strife. When we learn to own our own shadow and work with it rather than deny the internal chaos we carry, then that is how we begin to heal this world and then allow the world to also heal. The ant reminds us that patience is going to be required from us in a variety of ways, and that many things will have to be rebuilt from the bottom up. And we are all being asked to do it together, as we are all one heart and one love in this world. We are not alone, and when one suffers, then we all suffer. Thanks, everyone.